8 deaths and 600 summits. This is the summary of Mount Everest season 2024. The season started with the new regulation imposed by the Khumbu authority, which led to ban of helicopter usage above the base camp. Last year, many outfitters used the helicopter to carry the gears above the Khumbu icefall. Khumbu icefall is treacherous and dangerous. In the recent year, many clients skipped the dangerous Khumbu icefall and took a helicopter directly from the base camp to the Camp 1 or Camp 2. Everest base camp party, DJ night and luxurious tent had become very common. This received a lot of criticism from the climbing community. This year, Supreme Court of Nepal interfered in this matter, and which led to many changes. Nepal authority made it mandatory to use the poop bag. Climbers are required to bring the poop from the mountain and deposit it at the base camp. This was an important step taken by the Nepal authority to reduce the accumulation of human waste in the Mount Everest. Not many of these regulations were actually implemented. Seven Summit Track, an expedition company who was responsible for fixing the rope in the Mount Everest this year, when they faced an unprecedented delay in fixing the rope, they had to use helicopter to carry their gears above the icefall and in the upper camps. This year was quite challenging for the rope fixing team. They had hard time finding the route along the icefall. The route changes every year because it lies on the constant moving glacier, the Khumbu Glacier, which is complex and dangerous. Khumbu icefall is the most dangerous part of the Mount Everest, which is why many clients like to get a helicopter lift from the base camp to the Camp 1, skipping the most dangerous part of the Mount Everest. Last year, 3 Sherpas died while fixing the rope in the icefall. This year, good weather didn't show up until the May 7. Many climbers didn't like to wait at the base camp. They took a flight back to the Namche Bazaar and Kathmandu. Despite the luxury service available at the base camp, it can be really cold and uncomfortable at the altitude of 5,300 meters, and nothing can be compared to the comfort they get in the hotel in Kathmandu. As the skies of Everest clears up, hundreds of climbers flock toward the summit, forming a long, never-ending chain of climbers. As the chaotic crowd approaches the summit ridge, a cornices collapse under the weight of these selfish climbers. But luckily, they were attached to the fixed rope and were rescued. Unfortunately, 2 climbers went missing after this incident, and later they were declared dead. By the end of the season, there were 8 climbers who died climbing Mount Everest, and 600 climbers successfully reached the summit. This season was full of controversy for Nirmal Purja. Earlier in this season, Nirmal Purja was accused of taking an illegal helicopter flight to the Camp 2 from Namche Bazaar. Later, he described that trip was to rescue one of his clients. Nirmal Purja runs an expedition company called Elite Expedition. One of the Elite Expedition team was caught on Camp 3 of Mount Everest with no Everest permit. Nirmal Purja was able to resolve this issue with the Nepali authority. At the end of the season, Nirmal Purja posted a video on social media making a claim about the rope cut near the summit. In the video, he claimed that he is being personally targeted by the other team in the industry. He said people are trying to bring him down just because he is being very successful and has disrupted the mountaineering industry. As the video went viral on the social media, Nepal Tourism Department criticized the Nirmal Purja for circulating the fake message and tarnishing the image of Nepal. Nepal Tourism Department has initiated an investigation in this matter. In the response, Nirmal Purja uploaded another video showing an evidence of rope cut near the balcony section of the Everest. Many other expedition leaders and Sherpa guides available at the scene were confirming the Nirmal Purja's claim. However, there was another team from Pioneer Adventure who submitted on that day. They reported no issue with the rope cut. In fact, the rope was intact. The information provided by the Pioneer Adventure was contrary to what Nirmal Purja claimed in the video. At the end of the season, New York Times published an article about Nirmal Purja. In the article, 2 women made sexual allegations against Nirmal Purja. One of these climbers was a client of Nirmal Purja's Elite Expedition team. She reported multiple instances of sexual misconduct during her K2 expedition. According to the Himalayan Times, the lawmakers in Nepal are asking government to ban Nirmal Purja from Nepal.